Good morning, YouTube. Look, my 575 is back in my garage, and holy crap, it's a manual. Look at. Huh? Yes, we're gonna take it out for a drive. It is glorious. Look, 3 pedals. 3 pedals. Yes.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and this is my garage, and this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience, and that is my Ferrari 575. I bought it over a year ago with the intention of getting it converted at European Auto Group, and well, it just kind of sat around for the vast majority of a year, but I got a phone call from Art last week, and he said, hey, we're working on your car right now, and he sent me a picture, and I said, holy shit, I'm going to have a manual of 575 soon, aren't I? And he's like, yes, sir. Well, it's done. Well, okay, so here's the thing. It's done. The manual conversion is done, but the car is not done. So we got to do some work on it. What do we need to do with it? Well, first of all, the bottom panel is not on. We actually left it off intentionally because in case we have to adjust the shift linkage or anything like that. This is a solid shift linkage. So this is not their cable shift system. This is the factory system that they manufacture themselves, basically. So it's a facsimile of the original system. So it is a rod, so that means there is all the vibration and all the clicky clacks and all of the negatives and positives, whatever your feelings are on it, of the OE style. But it's also kind of chunky, which you might like or hate. It depends on your feelings. We'll take it out and I'll show you. It's a different experience than the cable shifted 599, completely different. Obviously the engine is completely different, and we'll discuss that too. But what else is going on with it? Well, I'll tell you what, instead of me just chattering on about it, why don't we take it out for a drive, and I'll just drive and we can listen to the glorious clicking, and I'll discuss everything going on with the car. Oh man, I don't know about you, but this car is just beautiful. Look at this. I'm gonna get out of the way. Yeah, I absolutely think this car is stunning. It is just a gorgeous, gorgeous example of a Ferrari. I don't know, I love the styling of this. I mean, whatever, the bad boy stuff, but this is just fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, I know. Enough talking. Let's go drive. So this is an old school Ferrari. You have to set off the immobilizer, clutch in. Oh, yes. Listen to that. Okay, so right off the bat, first thing we have to fix is the parking brake. It is, well, not working. So the parking brake essentially does nothing at this point. So yeah, that has to get fixed. Listen to this V12. Oh, from. It's almost got like a lopiness to it. It is just, oh. So if you are looking in my rear camera and looking forward, you'll notice that the stereo is not exactly mounted. Well, that's because the stereo is not exactly working. Oh, so good. Yeah, another thing I gotta fix. Left turn signal is not working. The front bulb is burnt out, no big deal. All right. Oh. Listen to that. Oh, yes. Oh, so good. It has been a year since we were last in this car, and the last time we were in it, it was an F1, and now gated manual transmission, so it was properly converted. It is just a glorious car. I love the sound of this car. I love the way it feels. I love the way it drives. I think, believe it or not, this car might be better than the 599 in some ways. For one thing, it's a much, much smaller car. I feel like the 599 is just a behemoth.
Featuring Big Daddy Don Bodine's truck, the Behemoth.
Now, there's good and bad things about the 599 as opposed to this car. One thing, this still has timing belts, which reminds me, we need to do a major. So yes, we need to do a timing belt service on this car still. So that is another thing that we have to fix. And, well, another thing we have to fix is the heater doesn't seem to be working. Now, we have paperwork that says that for some reason the heater core was disconnected. Why would they do that? Only thing I can think of is if it was leaking, maybe. I don't know, something stupid. So we have turn signal, parking brake, radio, major, heater core. 5 things we got to fix on this car, which actually is a question I'm debating right now internally. Is I'm not sure I want to sell this car. I like it so much. I've had so much fun driving it in the little bit that I've had it back that I don't know. So, okay, there is some of the chatter. Hear that? It's kind of faint, but it seems to do it in 5th gear around 2,800 RPMs or so, and it's faint. And it goes away as soon as you put load on the car or anything like that, see? But it's just weird. And if you kind of move the thing around a little bit, you can tell it's actually noise from the transmission translated up the shift linkage into the shift box. And the shift box is basically designed like a speaker. I mean, it's small at the bottom, big at the top, so it amplifies the sound. It's weird. Yes. Yeah, it hasn't warmed up yet. That's the problem with these old V12s. Oh, listen to that. By the way, proper Ferrari horn. Love it. I don't know if I can sell this car yet. I feel like it has more to offer. So here's my dilemma. We do those 5 things. We're ready to sell it. One of you can enjoy this car, but it's got 35,000 miles, just barely over 35,000 miles. Do I potentially keep it for maybe 5,000 miles, get it up to 40,000 miles, do a few things to it that I would want done to this car, and just keep it for maybe 6 months or a year? So Josh and I were discussing it. We could do some stuff like we could put on a better exhaust. I mean, the exhaust is cool, it sounds good, but this could sound so much better if we put on some like equal length headers, some other stuff like that, which by the way would be an absolute nightmare to install in this car, but it would sound glorious. Do that, maybe some cat deletes, and then I think it's got an X pipe, so you just leave the X pipe. But you do those things and maybe we could get this thing to really scream. Maybe lower it a little bit, like maybe 1.5 inches. I feel like this car would look just sick if it was lowered. And then either do wheel spacers or maybe even get aftermarket wheels just to fill out the fenders, but keep the original wheels. Obviously, like, you know, this is the type of car where you can't sell it with aftermarket wheels, no one will buy it. But I feel like simple exhaust mod, suspension mod, just to get it a little bit more modern looking, those things I don't think people would shy away from. I think they would appreciate it. And then maybe, you know, like send it to Brad and have it get a good PPF done on the front, have it get properly ceramic coated and paint corrected, all those things, you know, just to actually look amazing. Because the paint is in remarkably good condition. Absolutely near flawless paint. So it really needs some PPF bad before something else happens to it. And the interior is just, oh, this Kuyo, I think it looks just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Part of the conversion, we did do a new clutch, a new throwout bearing, a new pilot bearing. So she's ready to rock and roll in that department for quite a while. And mechanically, once we do the major, I mean, everything should be up to snuff on this car, and it's ready to go for another, you know, 15, 20,000 miles or 5 years or whatever someone wants to do with it. So, I don't know. It is quite a conundrum. What would you do? In the comments below, do you think I should keep this car or should I sell the car? I don't know what to do. And part of it is I really want to have a car that I own, that I can enjoy and not feel guilty about. So that's part of it, is this car is mine. This is, I paid for this car. Yes, it's in the dealership, but it's my money. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just keep in mind, this thing is not that fast. It is a not modern supercar. Here we go. Spinning the tires. Oh, unlike the 599, the engine does not rev fast at all. It is a very slow revving engine. I don't know if they have a much heavier flywheel on it or whatever. 599 is actually harder to drive than this car, much harder because of how quickly the engine revs. So I feel like if you don't shift the 599 fast, like really fast, it's just hard. And I know people were like, oh, like, you know, like, because they put the hang in the revs, and people are like, oh, the hang's terrible, blah, blah. This thing does it. So we'll drive a slow roll start, and you'll see it actually hangs real nice, and he makes it so you can shift at a leisure pace and not have it be clunky and horrible. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's go back to third. Okay, we're in third, ready? Watch, listen to the RPMs. See, slowly comes down. Perfect, right? I don't have to power shift it. I can just shift it nice and smooth, take my time with it, even in sixth gear. I think this is a better driving experience than the 599. It is a little bit more raw. The 599 is almost too powerful, gets quite a bit squirrely. This thing, I mean, I spun the tires a little bit back there. It actually chirped them when I went into second. So it's not a crazy amount of power, but it's enough that it's fun and enjoyable and completely controllable. Yeah, and you have ample power if you need to go. Just give it a little oomph and then off she is. I really like this car. So again, comments below, keep it, sell it, what do you think? If I keep it, we could do some fun stuff to it, take it on some adventures. I don't know. It is a super comfortable car, let me tell you that. I could drive this car on a long distance road trip, no trouble at all. Handling's pretty decent too. Stuck behind slow cars. So that's what I'm talking about with the shifts, right? You see that? It just the RPMs just fall so slowly. And probably it's like also if you just free rev it, if you free rev the 599, it's like just super fast. Listen to this. See, it takes a while for it to actually rev out. It's much slower. See, third gear chatter. Just a little. But you can feel it coming from the transmission. I mean, if you hold onto the stick, I can feel the vibration from the transmission. I can feel it change as I give it different levels of power. So that's just, it is what it is. It's older tech. It's kind of raw. It's raw, yeah, raw. By the way, air conditioning this thing blows ice cold. Thank God. On a hot Texas day, just, oh, fantastic, yes. I really like this car. It is a really good car. Lots and lots of fun. I don't know what to do, YouTube. Keep it or sell it. So I've been thinking about it, and here's what we're going to do. I am going to leave my fate in your hands. I'm an idiot. I don't know why I'm doing that. But in the comments below, keep it or sell it. Let me know, and whatever we get more of, if we get more keep it's, we'll keep it. If I get more sell it's, we're going to sell it. So let me know in the comments below. Keep it or sell it. Don't let me down, YouTube. But hey, if you guys are interested in any of our other vehicles, check out NG Supercars. You can go visit our inventory. Or if you have any questions about buying a car or anything like that, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com. And of course, we sell parts and services through our website, normalguysupercar.com. So check that out as well. And yes, we are still helping people buy their cars and sell their cars. So if you happen to have a Ferrari and you want to sell it to us, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com with the VIN, year, miles, and maybe some pictures. And we can make you an offer, and who knows, you could have your car taken care of if you need it to be. That's going to do it for this video. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate if you guys could like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get this channel getting a nice bump again, so please help us out. Share this video with your friends, and let me know in the description below what else would you like us to do and see in this channel. So we're going to be trying to do some more stuff now. We got the shop almost ready, so it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for all that. We do appreciate you guys' support, and you know the drill. We're going to be doing a lot more cool car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.